guys, it's Kelly. What's up? So, I'm making a video for you all. I've been getting a lot of messages from people wanting to know how I am making these paintings that I keep putting on Instagram and other social media sites. So, I thought I'll just make a video. We'll see how this goes. And I'm just making, these are little coasters. They're little 4x4 coasters. And I have 6 of them. I don't like things to always match. So what I did, I'm going to do different techniques on each one so that you can kind of see all the different things that you can do with this. So, alright, here we go. So this one I've already covered with a base coat of paint. Yeah, that would, I covered 4 of them because 2 of them will be a different kind of technique that doesn't require that. So I didn't think you'd want to sit and watch me cover stuff with paint. So, alright, so the first one I'm going to do is a Dutch pour, is what they call it. And you just make little circles of paint. And I'm going to do 2, one in each corner. And then you layer them on top of each other. So, and sometimes you can do this technique and another technique. Sometimes I've done, I think, every one they have, trying to get a painting the way I want it. Oops. So, yeah, I started doing this actually because of my book. I am working on my 3rd novel, and I'm preparing for novels 4 and 5, which I know it sounds funny, but when you do a series, you have to think that way, because you know, your characters that are going to be in book 4 show up in book 3 and beyond. So my character is going to be an artist, and she's actually going to be a potter. I wanted her to be like a functional artist, not like sitting around waiting for a gallery opening with paintings and stuff. I wanted her to be a working artist that makes things that people use every day. So when I was researching that, this stuff came up in my suggested videos. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit more blue around this, around both of them. Now usually people use a hairdryer for this, but since this is so small, I'm going to use my world's smallest blower, and I'm just going to blow the paint over it. Okay. Oh, that's already looking pretty cool. Let me turn this back. Okay, so now I can blow it out the other way. Alright. So I really like what's going on here. Not so much in there. And this one, he just kind of stopped. So I'm using a straw. You have a lot more control over where your paint goes when you do it this way. This is actually kind of cool. I like it. I kind of like the broader, how there's like the thick lines of paint. I like that. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. I love abstract art, so I like it to be different. And I am really liking this. Let's see. Huh. I think it looks pretty cool. You can tilt your painting to move the stuff around. But yeah, I like it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to torch this. It's going to get any air bubbles out. You might see, you already see some little bubbles showing up. They call them cells. I didn't use, usually you put silicone in your paint to get those, but sometimes they'll just react all on their own. Yeah, there's this treadmill silicone that if you use your treadmill enough, I guess you have to lube it up, and you need this silicone, which my clothes do not run that much, so I don't really need that. I don't know what the heck that is. Something in my... Okay, got it. Alright, so we'll let this one sit. The thing is, you have a good... I don't like this. Hold on. Okay, I like that better. I like it over there, but I didn't like it there. And I got some pinks coming up. Alright, we're going to let it percolate here, because in a half hour, these cells are going to keep growing. The cells will keep growing, and I might decide to work with the composition a little bit more. But we're going to set them to the side. Okay, next thing we're going to do is a flip cup. So I just need a little bitty cup, because this isn't a big canvas. And let's see, I'm going to do one that already has paint on it. Move him over here. Alright, so now I'm going to do, this yellow is my nemesis. It like takes over, so I just need to take a little bitty bit. I'm going to layer my paints in here. So anyway, yes, I was researching, and this lady named Jilly Cube, she's from Australia, kept popping up as like, you might like this. And so I finally, after seeing it about 1,000,000 times, I'm like, you know what, that does look cool. All it showed was like a thumbnail of the painting, and I liked it. So I'm like, alright, I'll bite YouTube. And I, 3 hours later, after watching 1,000,000 of her videos, I decided that I wanted to give this a try, because it looked really cool. Alright, I'm going to skip the yellow. Just do a little more green, a little more pink, because those were my favorites over there. Boy, those cells are growing on that one. Then I'm just going to do a little blob of white. Well, not a little, I guess. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so then I was like, alright, so this is a flip cup. Usually you don't do this, but since I have a little one, I can do this and flip it over. Alright, now we're just going to let it sit for a second, because you want all the paint to mix and intermingle and come down. So anyway, I found this little kit on Amazon. It was like 50 bucks, and it had everything, like everything you needed. Because like these paints, I've mixed all these paints myself. I've been doing this for a little bit now. So it had this kit that had like everything. So I just got it and tried it, because I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of stuff if I didn't like doing this. And it ended up, I really like doing this. So I got, after that I started doing more education, more research, read some books, really got into it, and yeah, it's, for me, it really brings out my creativity, because bad stuff can stifle that. So we're just going to pick this straight up. Okay. Ooh, look how pretty that is. Alright, now all we need to do is just tilt this around. You see there's that yellow. It just takes over everything. Oh, I like this. It almost has like cloud effect there. You have to kind of watch your whole canvas, because you could usher off something that you wanted to keep. See, I'm going to just keep tilting it till I kind of get a composition. This one, the flip cup, unless you really mess with it a lot afterwards, it's a good one to start with, I would say. God, that looks like teeth in a mouth. That's so wild. I don't like all this yellow at the bottom. I'm going to try to get rid of it here. So here, let me turn around. Gonna head this way. But yeah, COVID, everything that was going on. Yeah, that's a creative killer for sure. Ooh. Yeah, so see, now I got these little cells here. I don't want to get rid of those, and I got little pink ones coming up in my green that I really like. And this is without silicone, so that's kind of nice. I'm just going to pop it a little bit here. So yeah, my book was, I mean, it was coming along, but not usually. I save this and you can make jewelry out of it. But I just needed something else, because doing one creative thing, I think, sparks other creative things, and everybody's creative. I've had a couple of friends that asked me to show them this, but they're like, I can't draw, I'm not artistic, and you really just have to be creative to do this. Kind of, the colors that you want, there's a technical side to it, and then there's a creative side. And I really believe that anyone can do this. Alright, we're going to torch it to get rid of any bubbles. Alright. I really like this. It's cute. I like that pink. How that pink showed up. But I think it'll make a nice set. I mean, they'll all be different, but they're all the same colors, so. Alright, so that's the flip cup. And let me move him out of the way. Alright, now we're going to do, there are two that are like my favorites, and I like the swipe, and I love the ghost swipe. So let's do a swipe first. And I think I'm going to add the silicone to my colors now. Here, this green one's in frame. You just put a drop, like this, probably two. Because I think for the rest of them, I do want like bigger cells to come up. So you just put this in, stir, 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 and you don't need to stir the crap out of it. You just need a little bit. But yeah, so I think this is a good way to kind of escape, I guess. That, and it is new. I am a lifelong learner. I will always be learning. So anyone that knows me, I know this one boss of mine calls me Da Vinci, not because I paint, but because he did a lot of different stuff, and that's kind of how I am. Let me just, oh, that was pretty. Try to keep the other ones. Yeah, because I'll show you if I ever get clean hands here what the jewelry is so cool too. And Christmas is coming up. It's a really good present because it's, they're not going to get it anywhere else. Okay. So for this swipe, here's some stupid yellow. You're just going to put it right on your board or your canvas. And you could do anything you want. You could just do stripes all the way across. You could do circles. It's completely up to you and how you want your painting to turn out. So see, I'm going to do some chevron, because I like the way that looks when the swipe comes through. Right, I want to be a little bit thicker with my green. Alright. Yeah, so just with everything going on, I think I needed this. I really do. And it has helped. Unfortunately, like a lot of people, I've lost people during this time. And that's not fun, for sure. For sure. Just going to do a little bit of white. I don't want a lot, but a little. Let's see. Oh, blue. But good news, if any of my book fans are watching and thinking, why the hell is she painting when book 3 was supposed to be out this summer? Book 3 is going really well. Now, with everything that was going on at the time that that book was supposed to be in, like, pretty much done, I guess you could say, yeah, it wasn't a good time for me. I had just lost a childhood friend, and you know, I could have put out crap for you guys. I could have wrote just whatever to make the money, but I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna put out junk just to get a cash or to make people happy. It's just not, I don't think it's not me. It's not a good idea. Okay, so now I'm going to take this dark color and just put a thin line across here. Okay. And then you can use just about anything to do this. I'm going to use a paper towel. And we're going to swipe it. Okay. So you just want to make sure it gets in that blue. Right? It's in the blue. In the blue. In the blue. And then we're just going to pull it down. Alright. Now this one can take a while to develop. We're going to torch. Got it all in one swipe, which was awesome. Look at those cells coming up. Cells and cells and cells. Alright, so that is a swipe. And there are different things that you can do to it if you would like something a little different. But that, set him over here. I'm going to take a picture of all of them at the end so that you can see all the different techniques next to each other. But as you can see, it isn't the like hardest thing in the world. I mean, believe me, some of these, they could come out like really bad. But you know what? It's paint. You just scrape it off and start again. Wouldn't it be nice if everything was that easy, right? So, okay, this one. This is the, it's a ghost swipe, they call it. And I think I went too big. Too big. I'm used to doing this on a canvas, not these little bitty coasters. We'll see. We'll fix it. You can always fix it. Just paint. Scrape it right off. If we have to. Pink. Now the difference with this one is, of course, the background's already painted. But we are not going to put a swipe color at the top. That yellow. We're not going to put a swipe color at the top. We're just going to swipe it without it, which I think is why they call it a ghost swipe. I'm not sure. I've just heard them call it that. Believe me, if you want to learn more, there are tons of these on YouTube. So, alright, we're going to go like in the middle. And I'm just using a paint scraper. And you just scrape down. Wipe your tool off. Kind of in the middle. And I like to do that for dimension and for negative space. You don't have to go like perfect. Which, when you're doing it on a canvas, you can get some really cool angles and you can really work with your composition a lot. So this is actually my favorite. Most of my paintings that you see are these. Okay. One more. Oh, there we go. Yeah, love it. Alright, let's torch. Torch time. And remember, these last two have silicone in them, so I should be getting some cool cells. And also getting rid of all these annoying air bubbles. Alright. Let's see, do I have... No, I don't. I need a stick. Here, I got an old popsicle stick, that'll do. So, I don't like this hunk of color here. So what you can do, you can just drag it down. I'm going to do the same with this. Come over here. The other side looks pretty good. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. Yeah, see, I would do them all like this because this is my favorite technique. But when you're on a canvas, you can really draw down and make dynamic, make drama, make big drama. I love it. Yep, this is my favorite so far. You guys can tell me which one. So that is the Ghost Swipe. Let's see, what do we have left? So we did a flip cup. We did a swipe. We did a Dutch pour, which has gone horribly awry. See, look at what I told you guys, how it spreads out. I have way too much paint on here. Way too much, and it all meshed into an ugly 70s Brady Bunch kitchen green. We're going to do something about that. Where was I? Flip cup, swipe, go swipe, horrendous Dutch pour, and then we have what they call a dirty pour. So we're going to do that now. And it's kind of like the flip cup, except you don't flip it over, you just go with it. So, try not to use as much paint this time, and barely any of that damn yellow. Alright, so we're going to go just a little bit of green. Try not to do it over the painting. I've had some bad experiences doing that. I'm going to put a little white in between each one of these two. Just a little. Little bit of pink. Which you may be wondering why I'm using these colors. And a friend of mine, her daughter, seen my stuff and told her mom she wanted some stuff for her room. And she wanted neon colors. And all of these are neon, Artist Loft neon pink, yellow, blue, and green. The blue does not look yellow to me, though. A little bit. That's it. And then you kind of learn about these colors, like the white, the ones that give you trouble. Usually, now, I mix all my own colors. I, just put two together. And that's probably, I'm going to do one more pink, and that's probably enough. Probably more than enough. I know when I first started, I was like, well, more paint is better. It is not. It is not better. Okay, so they call this a dirty pour because I am just going to pour it onto the canvas. Alright. That's interesting. So now we can move it around, see what we get. You're going to lose a lot of paint on this one too. Oh, I keep forgetting to... Yeah, I think that I am too ADHD for YouTube. We'll see. I've had some people ask me to do... Ooh, this is coming out kind of trippy. Oh, well, look at that. Let's torch, see what we get. That is wild. I mean, it's not like my style, but I guess for a kid that wanted funky colors, that'd probably be something she'd like. And that's the thing too, when you're doing this, like, you may not like it may not be your style, but you can still appreciate it. And a lot of times I'll be like, God, I hate that, and then I put it on Facebook, and people are like, can I buy it? It's insane. So you never know what people will like. But this is really freaking cool. I would love this when I was 17 for reasons. Alright, let's move it out of the way. Let him dry. Alright, this is the last one. And this is a dip. This is actually the first thing I did when I got that little kit I told you about from Amazon. And it is super easy. It's probably the easiest one to do. I'm going to set my little thing here. And let's see, this is what I stirred my paint up with. And what I'm going to do is I'm kind of marking where it is. Usually I tape this, but I need to not think that far ahead. Alright. So this is just so I kind of know where this goes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up with paint. So I'm going to take my blue. Okay. Yellow, very small yellow. Now sometimes you can do this, and how I usually do it is I have two canvases. Whoops. I'll have two canvases, and I put one on top of the other, dip it together, and then you get two paintings, and it's less waste. But actually, this isn't too wasteful, because I will let this dry and turn it into jewelry, which is super, super cool. If my hands ever get clean, I'm going to show you. Okay. Kind of Jackson Pollocky. Just splatter it all on there. I think I've got way too much paint again. I know you're shocked. I overdid it a little. I want to put a little, just not a lot, but so I'm afraid it's not going to get all the way through that layer. Okay. So all you do, you take it. This is how I keep my stuff out of the paint. It's just a wooden block, and I use a glue dot. It works like perfect. Alright, so then we just set it in. Right? And I just want to make sure you don't want to squish it too much. I usually paint these too, but I found these like big cork things that go on the back, so you don't have to worry about it, which is wonderful. And then we're just going to pull it straight up. Oh, look at that. First shot. I don't have to do anything to this. That's amazing. What do you think? It's beautiful, right? Okay, I just want to look at my sides. And I can just dip them to make sure they have paint on them. Yeah, a lot of people like this one because obviously your results, I mean, believe me, things can go, they can go wrong with this too. But when it works, it's amazing. I'm going to torch, make sure I got no bubbles. I liked it better before all the cells came up, though. Can't do anything about that now. It is silicone in it. I usually don't do dips with silicone. I didn't think about that. But it is still very cool. So, here is this monstrosity that we did earlier. This is my Dutch pour. And see what happened? It expanded. There's too much paint. I used to think that, oh, more is better. It's not. Now you can do things to try to fix it, but I like that dip so much that I'm going to scrape this paint, and I'll scrape it over here because it'll probably make a really cool design that I can use for something else. Alright, there we go. God, it still has freaking yellow on it. There we go. All right. Sometimes you need to add some more paint, but I think because I already have a good base, I don't need to. We'll see. Here, let me just kind of push this in a little bit. It kind of gets smushed when you smush your thing down. Okay, here we go. Number 2. And I should still have enough paint to make some jewelry. All right. Ooh, look at that. Would you look at that? I think I'm going to try, and no, I have the torch. I got bubbles. Maybe I'll just pop them individual. I don't know. And with the coasters, I resin them, so that'll be covered up anyway. Huh, interesting. I'm going to try not to torch it, not to bring up, because the other one, I love it, but I love this more. So there you go. There are all of the different ways that you can do this. I'm going to save this because I can make jewelry. And actually, I have a couple. Let me get my glove off. Oh, God, my hands are nasty, too. Here, let me, here are a couple of necklaces that I made. I don't have the chain on them yet, but they're really cool. I mean, they're really unique, and if you're someone that likes unique stuff, this is the ticket. So, and the stuff to make them is like, I mean, of course, you know, you're not getting Tiffany grade chains and all that, because it's just it's a handmade necklace, but it's still beautiful. So, there you go. Thank you for sticking with me this long, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and maybe it'll have you think about picking up a new hobby. You only get old when you stop learning. Remember that. So I'll put a link to the little box that I got. Or, you know what, just surf around YouTube. You never know. You might come up with something that you want to try. So thanks for watching. Subscribe. I don't know if I'll ever do another video, but if I do, subscribe. Hit the little bell thing and it'll tell you. So there you go. Have a great day.